See. Hello. Betty McKnit here, live on the Outer Banks. It's I just love the weather today. It's there's like a warm wind coming off the ocean, but it's because there's a hurricane out there. And so I think that maybe I'm going to have to close the windows. I don't know. I might have to get up during this live and go close the windows. But right now the windows are open. And yep, it's really warm, but it's beautiful here. And the wind is wonderful. I can hear the ocean and it's great. So I'm going to go with it. Hopefully I will be, able to have my windows open all night because that's what I like, or at least for the duration of the live so I don't have to get up. But the heat's not so great for my body. I just like my hands and feet are puffy today, but I don't care. I'm just gonna be puffy. It is what it is. Your pattern, I just haven't used it yet, so need to, but my ADHD. Aw. Well, I would really love your feedback actually about what would make the pattern easier for, people with ADHD or who think differently, to make it easier for you to understand. I have tons of videos too. The videos are like completely unorganized, and that's because of my own ADHD. I don't know what I'm even talking about. Yeah, I do have videos you can follow along with. I think the patterns are pretty solid though, to be honest. I've been struggling with sitting in this chair for a long time. And let's see, how am I? I mean, I can reach, but I kind of have to pitch forward, so I think I need to get up and fix this one more time. Be patient with me. Also, don't judge me because I'm wearing an old t-shirt and it has like stains on it. I just got to go in a little bit more. My chair's super squeaky too. I don't know what happened in here, but it smells like someone did a number 2 under the bed or something. It really smells. I don't know it wasn't me. Maybe one of my guests left some food or something under the bed and didn't realize it. I mean, there were little kids here. Okay, I'm going to work on the star today. The superstar is fun, but I'm changing on every row, and that got to be a little bit much. So I'm going to work on this, and this will be day 3. I'm just going to get right to it. We started a mandala. You had a rough day? I saw your leg warmers on social. The baby ones? Was that you? Was that TikTok? Where was that? Am I thinking of the right thing? They were like little baby leg warmers. Okay, I'm going to do this. Oh, wait. I have to do turn the mirroring off. Otherwise, I look like I'm left-handed. And then that goes up there. Let me plug it in so I don't lose power. Yeah, I saw that. I follow everybody. It's like when I see that somebody's following me, if their name has like crochet or yarn or stitches in it, or I remember their name from a live, then they get a follow from me. I'm not one of those people that has to have like 1 million followers, but I only follow 7 people. Okay, I'm ready for this blue again. What do y'all think? Hi, Andrew. I saw you sneaking in. I'm going to do this bright blue again. It's time. I feel like it's time for it. Looks like I got a little bit of purple. A little bit of the purple on it, on the end of it. All right, well, we can just cut that off. And this tiny little bit I'm going to put into the other bucket for, I'm saving up for granny squares. I mean, I'm not going to keep the, I'm not going to keep a bunch of like little teeny tiny ends. I've got enough ends to weave in on here. Okay, so this is round 3. So I keep the numbers the same for all the 6-day projects. So the second granny cluster row is always going to be row 3 or round 3, and that is just so that you can do the striping effects that you want. Now I don't think that the same stripe effects that work on the 6-day kit blanket work the same on the star blankets. I think for the star blankets that the what am I trying to say? The stripes need to be a little more narrow. They look better when they're more narrow on the star for whatever reason. So I think 3 rows is the maximum for the star for me. Have you ever finished a 6-day in one? Well, I a couple of months ago, and there's videos on here of me doing it. I did a crochet marathon, and I did one in 2 days, but it was a marathon. I was here all day for I think it was a total of like 16 hours that I did it. And so if you would break that down, it would be like 3 or 4 hours a day to complete it in 6 days. I did it to demonstrate some somatic practices that I engage in when I crochet a lot of the time. My little timer is out of batteries over here. Actually, I had a white one too, but usually I set this for 30 minutes and then I, yeah, it's dead. But usually I'll set this for 30 minutes or 60 minutes and then I'll get up out of my chair every time, but it's dead. I need to put new batteries in. I have a white one too that has like shorter time increments, but I don't know what happened to it. Like I said, I had some kids staying here and they might have played with it. I remember one day I was on a live and it fell on the floor, and I don't remember seeing it after that. I think I remember saying some swear words when that happened, but I don't remember ever going and like figuring out what happened to that square or where it went. I see you're using an Odyssey. Did you see that they're discontinuing them? Yes, I did. I saw that. I have affiliate links for them in all my patterns, so I get to go update all that. I want to come out with my own line of hooks. I really do like the Odysseys, but I'm just sad. I am just sad about it. It's my favorite hook. But I get it. I mean, they haven't had them in stock for a year or more. Sign me up for a set. I'll have to do an Indiegogo and raise the money and do it. When I went to the craft industry conference this summer, I went to a product development meeting, which was pretty interesting. If times weren't so hard, I'd buy a full set. Yeah, but from where? Can't get them. I bought up a bunch in the swap group on Facebook. There was a girl that she was selling her whole set, and she was just like, oh, I overbought. She was very sweet. And so I said, well, I'll take, she had a bunch of them in these different sizes. And I said, I took like 4 of them. And then she came back a couple weeks later and she said, I have a few more if you want them before I list them. So I bought a few more off of her. And I just kind of built up my set, but they were the newer version, which I didn't like as much. Oh, are they fully discontinued? I mean, I am assuming that they're sold out on their site because they sell out when they restock. They sell out immediately. I mean, I went to check and see what was left, and I'm pretty sure everything was sold out. So, yeah. Don't think you can get any more, my dear. I'm sorry. Unless you go to the, secondhand market. Which there's a swap group on Facebook. Yeah, I know. They'll probably be even more expensive now, too, because I know even if you bought them in a swap group or something, they would still cost the same. They weren't any cheaper. They were the same. Hi, Amy Bryson. She says, I'm pretty glad I got several in my favorite size before they got crazy popular. It's really weird, but the walkway to the beach is right next to my house, and there are a couple people just sitting right next to my house on the walkway, talking on the phone. I wish they'd go sit somewhere else. Go sit at whatever house you're renting over here. Your Facebook got stolen, then shut down. Goodness. Hi, thanks for joining. Thanks for the gifts. Thanks for sharing the live, etc. Had pictures all the way from 2008, including both my kids' pictures, and poof, they're gone. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I don't have that much faith in, Facebook. I have multiple accounts, and I have, for my business accounts, I have multiple accounts that are able to access those pages because I just live in fear that they're just gonna poof disappear one day. Hi, Aaron from Ohio. Hi, Andrew. Pretty colors. Yes, thank you. Thanks for the gifts. I don't know if we'll see my sister on here tonight. She's having surgery tomorrow. Disneyland Grammy. Hi, Betty. How are you? I'm doing great. I need to check in with her. Hi, Barb. Good to see you. Oh, thank you for the roses. I'm sure she will pop in if you believe. I need to check in with her at some point tonight. Thank you so much for the roses. My goodness. I appreciate it. Can you all hear that sound? That's my blinds in my bedroom crashing against the window in the wind. I'll let her know she said hi. Hey, Linda, Linda, Linda. This is Linda, 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 she said. Good to see you, my dear. How have you been? Listen, that's where we got it from, but she's just a lady named Linda that's in our group, and every time she like commented on one of the lives, we would say, Linda, Linda, Linda. And one day I said, I feel bad. You probably hear that all the time. Probably get so sick of hearing that. People probably say that to you all the time. And she said, no, you're the only one that says it. Listen, Linda. Listen to me, Linda. Hello, my friend. How you doing? It's Beverly Miller. Hi, Beverly. How you doing now? It's Beverly from Oklahoma. Hello, Beverly from Oklahoma. Good to see you. It's so nice to see so many friendly faces tonight, or hear so many friendly voices and comments and people. It really needed it. I have been doing my turtle nest checks. I did 2 nest checks this week, one today and one yesterday. And I did another one last week. And next week, I think we're going to start doing our babysitting the nest, waiting at night for the hatchlings to come out. I'm worried about the hatchlings because today when I went to check the nest, the tide line, like the nest had been overwashed at high tide. It was low tide when I was there, but the water was very close, coming up very close to the nest. So that's my nest report. Your timing tonight was perfect. I promised myself some self-care tonight. Today was a great day at work. Tomorrow will be tough. Oh, you're so kind. Thank you. You were in need of a friendly voice too? I was productive today at least, and I made it to the post office before it closed. So I have to go to the post office to get my packages. And then sometimes I'm like, oh man, if I don't get there by Friday, I'm not going to have my packages. So I'd like 5 packages. I think I had packages from last week too that I never went to pick up. I was super discombobulated yesterday. I think I'm still recovering a little bit from my trip. Thank you, Savannah Smiles. But I went to do my nest check and then oh God, a freaking spider or something just fell on me. I don't know where that came from. Good gravy. Oh, oh! Did y'all see that? It was a spider, I think. Oh, it's still here. Oh my God. Please leave me alone. Please, just go about your business. Oh. Did y'all see that? I don't know where it went. It fell on me, and then it fell, and then it went up there, and then it came back. And now I think it's on the floor. Someone send help. Oh my God. I hate insects. You know, when I was, you mean that teeny tiny spider? Made it funnier because it looked like nothing was there. Oh, it's funny to you all, huh? Oh, man. Yes, it was just a little spider, but it was scurrying really fast. I think that's what really was bothering me, is that it was scurrying very quickly and in a meandering, scrambling way that I couldn't grab it. Oh. Oh, help me. Help me. Oh, I know. When I lived in Hawaii, I really was not used to the bugs that they have there, and they have cockroaches there that they call B-52s because they actually fly. The cockroaches in Hawaii fly. Well, I didn't know that. So I got surprised when I was dive bombed by them, a bunch of times. And then, what feeds on them are those big centipedes. So we had a centipede or centipedes in the house, and I was aware that there was one there, and I couldn't go home during the day. I used to drive to work, and then sometimes I would take my morning classes, and then I'd have to go back at night for rehearsals because I was a dance major. So I would drive all the way home in the middle of the day when there was no traffic, just to like lay down in my own bed and not sleep in the car. I did a lot of sleeping in the car, but sometimes I would drive all the way back home and I would go sleep in my bed and then drive back down to school. But I couldn't. I was afraid to go home because of that centipede in the house. I was visiting my parents in Oahu. Cockroaches there are bigger. Yep, they're big. And then we had this really weird looking insect in the bathroom one time, and it was like black and white and like striped and had, it looked like antenna coming out of the side of it or something. And I was just like, that's it. Like, get me out of here. I don't like, that's it. I didn't ever want to see anything like that. It just really freaked me out. Somebody told me that it's some kind of like sugarcane cockroach. I've never seen anything so weird I just had never seen anything like that before. And I sent my husband after it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I got it. But I didn't hear him like slapping or scrambling or anything. And I think it just crawled into the closet or something, and he just like went, whatever. But someone told me, no, they're kind of slow moving. They're kind of easy to catch. So I don't know, but they were like, yeah, that was one sugarcane cockroach. I had to ask a Hawaiian person, and they laughed at me. Laughed, of course. The other thing they have in Hawaii are those little geckos. And when you first move there and you see them and you're like, oh, they're so cute, but they poop everywhere. They poop everywhere. So you are always cleaning up, and you have to like cover your toaster or they will poop in it. They'll fall into, stuff, your frying pan when you're trying to cook something, stuff like that. Hello. If you're in the Facebook group, you'll have to tell me who you are, because I can't see your name. It doesn't show me your name. Oh man, that was my daughter. She says she's not going to be available later. I'm going to have to hang up. She said she was going to call me at 5 o'clock. But she did not do that. Anyone else crocheting tonight? What are we working on? Has anyone been motivated to start a 6-day star blanket after watching these videos? Brandy says, I'm making a granny square blanket, probably going to be a slightly smaller one. Cool. I have a granny square project. Amy Bryson says, I'm working on my superstar. Andrew says, crocheting an African flower motif, going to make a bag out of them. Cool. Beverly Miller says, I'm working on a basket weave Afghan. That's wonderful. Knitting a hat and started a 6-day star on Tuesday. I haven't knitted in a while. The corner of the blanket was like tickling my arm and I thought it was the spider. I almost lost it again. Really, almost literally started with my screaming and stuff. Yeah, I think whatever is left after I'm done doing these 3 blankets of this Ogo yarn, I'm going to do a granny square-ish blanket with them. I think if I really want to finish these star blankets by the end of September, I might have to work on them offline a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see. Still, the month is only halfway done. And I'm on this is day 3 of first blanket. I've done 3 days on one. This will be 3 days on one and 3 days on the other. So halfway through, technically. I mean, to really complete it in 6 days, I can't sit here and do tutorial. I'll have to work. I spent a lot of time prepping the yarn, too. Granny squares are my default when I can't think of what to make. The 6-day superstar blanket is my default. I like a regular 6-day blanket too, but I love the whole concept of starting in the middle and stopping when you run out of yarn. Like, I love yarn economy. I like when I have yarn, I want to use it all up. I don't want to just use, especially if it's really nice yarn, I don't want to use most, some of it and have like a whole bunch of it left, especially if it's expensive. I like projects that use up all the yarn and don't leave you with any left over. Have you ever done the Granddaddy on live? I have. But I'm thinking about reworking that pattern a little bit to make it longer, because as it is, it's like a little better than square. And the first thing everybody always says is, how do you make it longer? So I think I might make an adaptation to that. but I have done it on a live. It's probably impossible to find because I probably just did it and then just dumped the raw footage onto my YouTube channel and didn't give it a good title and chapter it and do all those things. Well, the granny rectangle, it was the 6-day version is called the Great Granddaddy. There's the Great Granny and the Great Granddaddy. The Great Granny is the square, the continuous granny square, and the Great Granddaddy is a continuous granny rectangle. I have some Noro here that I ordered when I placed my first wholesale order. I had to meet a minimum, so I ordered 6 balls of Tsubami for myself, and I haven't figured out exactly what to do with them, but I was thinking about doing that, the Great Granddaddy. I was thinking about making it longer. And I could call it the Great Granddaddy-O. Because it's made with Noro. Andrew says, already love it. Thank you, Andrew. Hey, Leslie Russell. Oh, I haven't measured it, but let me, at the end of this round, I'll measure it for you. Let me get the rest of the way around. I'm on my last point. I'm working on a blanket too. What you working on? Granny square. Okay, thanks. I love to crochet. Me too. Ooh, that breeze feels good. Y'all hear that? It feels so good. It has been so hot this summer. It's been, I don't think I've left my windows open at all since, like, I don't know. A couple weeks ago, I tried to leave them open for like a day, a night, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I was so hot and I couldn't sleep and I had to like close all the windows and put the AC on. It was ridiculous. So these are kind of hard to measure because they have 7 points. So this is what I do. I measure from the center to the point and then I double it. Even though it's not really across that much, but that's just how I do it. So 16 from the center to the edge, so basically around 32 inches. I had made an afghan of flowers. I just can't make myself sew them together. Oh, I really prefer to do like join as you go, but sometimes like with granny squares, I don't like them when they're single crocheted together and you can see the seam. Like I prefer them sewn together. So I don't know. I don't do a lot of things where things are sewn together. Excuse me. Okay. This is probably 2 Ogos worth of this yarn. I have like 6 more Ogos on the shelf over there, so I'm probably going to have to wind those up at some point. But we'll see if this blanket is 32 inches across, it's about halfway done. I like to make them at least 60 inches. Just depends on what they're for, but what am I doing? I don't need this. I'm just starting a new row. What am I doing? What am I thinking? Well, I'm going to need it by the end of this row, so thank you, Beverly. You're very sweet. I'm going to, Amy Bryson says, I'm going to give this superstar to a coworker having a baby, then want to finish something before Christmas for a coworker from the Philippines. She won't be with her little ones for Christmas this year. Oh, that's hard. Round start, ding, ding, ding. Andrew's always here to start the round. This is, and thank you for doing that. This is round 5. Round 5. And then the next round will be the Ridgy round, the Ridgy Didge. I think I'm going to do the Superstar with this same striping, or the Superstar I changed on every round, and I don't think I want to do that with the Supernova. It's just too much. So I like this. I like what I did with this, changing on every 3 rounds. What do y'all think? I'm a creature of habit. I mean, I could do the rounds. I could do like the same way as the Ridgy Didge baby blanket, where it just changes after every round 5. We be doing a tree skirt anytime soon. Well, I do have tree skirts already done. You know that, right, Andrew? I have the star, the superstar, and the supernova tree skirt patterns. They are done. And they have been released. And I did them all 3 of them last year on live. So those videos are there too. I just was on a meeting with Pam Grice, the crochetpreneur, who is an amazing business coach, by the way. I recommend, if you're doing a crochet business, to get into Pam's program, because it's not that expensive and it is worth it. Like, I have made so much more money being in her program than, before I started it. Before I started the program, I didn't really even take my business that seriously. It was just like a side hustle. And then it started like just growing and growing and growing. And I was like, well, what would happen if I really took it seriously and treated it like a business and not a side gig. Right. And so I started working with Pam in her CBA, and I've been in there for like 2 or 3 years now. And anyways, I was on a call with her. What am I doing right before this? Do I have mods over there on YouTube? How do I get to this video? Your channel. Here we go. I'm making my first star blanket right now. Oh, okay. Coolest, sexiest Taurus ever. I didn't even read your comment. I just saw the sexiest and then all those emojis, and I was like, oops. Need me to find a link. No, you're fine. I was thinking that coolest, sexiest Taurus ever who is commenting was a scammer, but I think they're an actual crocheter. I want to do a crochet side hustle. I'm tired of walking these streets. I highly recommend it, but that's okay. I just saw your name and I saw all the yes, I was. I was like, oops, somebody needs booted. Thank goodness I actually stopped and read it before I did it. Yeah, it's not a bad way to make money. But I would recommend getting a business coach. Get into the CBA. It's very affordable, and I have affiliate link. If you want to do it, I have an affiliate link for it. I think the doors, she usually opens the doors at the end of the year for people to come in. And she works with designers like me and people who like makers, people who make and sell at markets and things like that. It's been really good for me. I highly recommend it, but I don't know why I started talking about it. I was starting to talk about the meeting that I was at before this that was like a Q4 planning meeting. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I have no plan. It stressed me out. I spent a lot of time doing those tree skirts last year, so I think the best thing for me to do probably would be to clean up the videos and make the content easier to find and easier for people to follow along. I have, rather than doing like another crochet along or something, just like redo the videos. I mean, I wouldn't even have to redo the videos. I would just have to sit down and watch them and chapter them and edit them and make them nice. Hi, Ruby Love. These are those Caron Ogo Colorama, which are discontinued. So I'm doing a stash bust. I'm busting them. I'm doing a stash bust with them. How should I say that? I had a bunch of them stashed, and now I'm busting my stash. And I'm doing 3 star blankets with all these Ogos that I had. But you can do the star blanket with any yarn. It's a great project to do for your leftovers. If you have, gather up all your scraps from everything you did that you got left over and make your star blanket out of that. Beach Girl, hello. I just got in and I'm so glad to catch you. I'm so glad to catch you too. Glad you're here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, good Lord. What are you saying, oh, good Lord, about, Andrew? Because I was saying about busting my stash. I was calling it my Ogo graveyard, but then I thought, that's really not very nice. And then I was tagging Yarnspirations, and I thought, they probably don't want to hear that, something like that. But, like, it's not bad yarn. Thank you, Ruby. I had about 30, 40, 50 of those Ogos, and I had a whole mess of the blue ones because there was like one shade of green that I wanted for another project in it, and so that's why I ended up with all these extra blues. I ended up with a bunch of colors I didn't really want once I cut them all apart and did what I wanted with them. And so I'm just making a bunch of blankets. I think I'm going to end up getting about 4 blankets out of this. I knew I would need that other the next cake pretty soon, so thank you so much. I mean, everyone always says I'm really good with color, but I do random, like I like to do things kind of randomly or chaotically, I guess. Some people like to plan everything out, but I am more on the chaos side of things. But this all happened because my friend gave me a piece of her wallpaper to match up to, and that's how I ended up with a bunch of those Ogos. I'll buy some off of you. I need yarn. What do you need, Andrew? What kind of yarn do you like? Do you like chunky weight stuff, or do you like worsted? What do you like? I mean, I cut all these Ogos up. Once I'm done with them, I'm done. I was going to get, if there's anything left when I'm done with these 3, possibly 4 blankets, I was going to just like see if anyone wanted them. But you can have whatever's left. I mean, they were so cheap when I bought them up, too. They were like, do y'all remember that TikTok that Koozie made? And it was like Koozie Crafts. And she was like, the Ogos are all on sale and get your coupon and put them in your cart. And go get all the Ogos. And that's what I did. There she is. I work with all yarn weight except the really, really chunky ones. Well, I mean, what do you like? Do you like Lion Brand? Do you like Michaels? Do you like, you know, Joann's? Where do you normally shop for yarn? How you doing, Amy? I was going to check in with you after the live. See how you're doing. Maya just called me too. Joann's and Michael's, mainly Joann's. Well, I have a bunch of Christmas yarn. I have a bunch of yarn from like the tree skirts left over from those tree skirts. I'd be happy to send you that, the Christmas stuff, if you want yarn. You were asking about tree skirts. Hey, Amber. What do you want? What do you celebrate Christmas? Do you want regular red and green, or I actually have Hanukkah colors, I have Christmas colors, and I have Kwanzaa colors. Amber. I shop the sales. My favorite brand of yarn is discounted. Christmas colors, okay. Yeah, I have table runners that that's a project too. I need to put that on my little goals. 4th quarter goals. It was the whole thing. I was like, oh crap, there's like a lot to do. But I did the Hanukkah table runner, but then I gave it to somebody. I gave it away. I mean, she did send me a picture of it, so I guess I could use the picture that they gave me for the pattern. I wish I could crochet faster. I did a Kwanzaa table runner and I did a Hanukkah one, but I didn't do a Christmas one. They were very small. They didn't take that long to do. But I never published them, so that was one of my goals for holiday crochet. Get that stuff going. Plus I have my tree skirts. picture's frozen. What's going on? I know, it's a very pretty blue, right? It's very you. Thank you, Amber. Amy, are you crocheting tonight? Do you have to be there early? I remember you said you didn't know what time. Hi, Debbie. Goodness, that blanket you posted was gorgeous. You have to be there super early. Okay. Whoops. Why do you have a little... She's a new gifter and we are friends. And then you have a little house like next to your... I don't know what that little icon is. It was a little smaller than the first one, probably crocheted tighter this time. Is that right? 7:20 precisely. Okay, that's really early. It's a gift box. Oh, okay. Because you're a new gifter. I get it. Thank you. It looks like a house. Is that my blanket? I thought your mom was making you one. Same amount of peaks and repeats. Interesting. And the other one was the Meowth, right? Is that right? chewy. Took you 22 minutes. Hi, Della. Fran. My friend, I'm going to have to go every time I eat anything. Oh, I'm so sorry. Have a good night, Miss Beverly. Good seeing you. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, so I've been doing like 2 colors and then gray. 2 colors and then gray. So I'm thinking I should bring the gray back in. What do you all think? I'll bring all the colors up here. I think that belongs in the other bucket. Oh no. Maybe not. Well, I'm confused. Okay, these are the colors. I guess I have these too. I don't know where they came from. So the colors were not like really consistent across. I think this is supposed to be that. I'm not going to use these. They don't match. Wait, I have 3 of them. Well, maybe they do go in here. I don't even know what to think. There's a lot of the gray. Gray. They're saying gray. Okay, so gray it is. I agree. I agree with gray. I don't know what this screen is. It doesn't look like I've put it in yet, so okay. Okay, so I just ended on this corner, so I'm gonna rotate to a different corner and start in a different area, and then I'm doing Ridgy Didge, so I'm gonna flip. See, there's my ridge from the last time. Hey Maddie, it's going great. How are you? Okay, and then whether you're doing Ridgy Didge or not, you start here. Okay, because you're going to skip these 2 in the valley. So you start 1 over from the skip 2 in the valley. This is a star blanket. I'm doing a star blanket. 6-day star blanket. I'm stash busting. And I'm doing a front post on this round. It's round 6. Give me a ding, ding, ding. There he is. Every round 6, I'm flipping the blanket over and I'm working round 6 as I'm working every double crochet as front post double crochet instead of a regular double crochet. And when you do a front post stitch, instead of working into the top of the stitch, you work around the post of the stitch from the front. Okay, so this is the front. I go in from the front and come out the front. If it were back post, I would go from the back. I would go around from the back like that. But it's not back post, it's front post. Yeah, cool. It creates that little, creates some texture. And then in the points, in the point, you do 5 double crochet, but you just do them in the top of the stitch like normal. So it's just that one little adaptation. And that creates the ridge. Yeah, this is live on YouTube right now as well, and so it will be it'll be you know, it'll be on there when we're done. You can watch the replay over there. Ding! That's somebody in the McKnitiverse. The McKnitiverse, if you don't know, is my membership community. It's a Mighty Network community. It's a paid community. And what do I have over there? I have, well, I think the most popular thing that I have over there are the Zoom meetings. I have often multiple meetings a week. We do craft and chat. We work on different projects together. We have crochet alongs. And then I have design meetings. And then what we do in the design, I call it the design workshop. And basically what design workshop is where I am working on the things that are the patterns that are in development that haven't been released yet, because I'm still working on them, still figuring them out, and I'm still working them up. And so my members have access to those patterns when they're still like in the draft early stages, and sometimes they go and work them up for me and they're like, this works, this doesn't work. Sometimes they kind of take it and do their own thing with it. But we are working on over there, we're working on some projects that I'm calling chaos. Just to be dramatic. But I have a chaos scarf and I have a chaos blanket coming, and those are in the design workshop over there. And then once they're ready, like the chaos scarf has been pre-released over there for months. I finished it in the spring and I just thought, well, this just isn't a good time to release this because it's springtime. And so I just held on to it, but there were a couple members over there that made their chaos scarves already. And right now I'm working on a chaos blanket, like a similar concept. Yeah, and it's just fun. That's what that ding was. It's the Betty McKnitiverse. And it's like just like a smaller, community where you have one-on-one access to me. You can just come to a meeting and ask me questions directly, show me your work and stuff like that. I have exclusive patterns over there that I have never released. Just little extra things, and those libraries are growing all the time. So, like, this is a really good time to join at the end of the year, because when you join, you it has legacy pricing. So when you join this year, I'm going to raise the price. I always raise the price at the beginning of the year because there's so much stuff in there. So I usually raise it $1. Last year I did $2, but I usually go $1 every year. I raise it, and then you know, that's your price. As long as you're in there, that's your price. If you leave and come back, you have to come back at the higher price. But if you join before I raise the price, then, you know, you'll have the lower price forever. Hi, Hessa. Thank you. I mean, I don't talk about it all the time because I feel like I'm just always pushing it, but it is a pretty cool it's a pretty cool place. You have so many amazing star pearl. Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to do one for Noro, but I want them to tell me what yarn they want me to do it with first, and I want them to send it to me. I did 3 projects for them last year. That was really... We do a lot of sitting or yes, we do have meetings where we just hang out and chat too. Uh-oh. I'm not sure why this happens with this software. Just give me just a sec. See if I can get this to come back online. All right, let's just give it a second to just calm down. I'll take this opportunity to like stretch my hands. My hands are really puffy today. It's very warm in here because I opened the windows, and so the equipment is probably hot. It doesn't like doing what it's told. Just give it a sec. Yeah, I have crickets, and I had some people just sitting out there talking. I wanted to tell them to leave, but they finally left on their own. Okay. I love when people say they're going to call me at like 2 o'clock. Then they call me at like at 8:30. Now my hands are all slippery. Let's see, did that work? There it is. Okay, I probably needed that anyways. By the way, the lymphatic massage oil and the fascia tool are in my Amazon, my somatic crochet Amazon store. If you're interested in them, link in bio. Oh, that breeze feels so nice. And then you can kind of hear my my blinds in my bedroom like clackety clacking because I don't want to I don't want to pull them up because then people can see right in. The crickets aren't as loud as they had been. And it feels like the wind has died down a little bit too, but I don't know if we're going to get like storms and high winds and rain or whatever with this storm that's off the coast. So I like to try and do a whole repeat when I sit down to work on, a blanket. But of course, as it gets bigger, it takes longer to go all the way around. Della said it took the last one took me 22 minutes. This one will be longer because I had to fiddle with the dumb camera. And also it's front post. Oh, brother. Hi, Cindy. I think it's fun to be here during a storm or a hurricane when the house is like all rattling around and shaking. I got through the first repeat on my Ridgy Didge yesterday. Nice. Is that the one you were casting on in the meeting the other night? I'm about halfway around on this round. Ooh, listen to that. Starting to kick up a little bit. I'm worried about my little hatchlings out there on the beach. They've already been through one storm. They're getting overwashed pretty bad. Even if they do all hatch, they only have like a 1 in 100 survival rate. So only one turtle from that nest, if they all hatch, will survive to adulthood. Actually, I think it's like the first year. They swim for like days and days to the Sargasso Sea or somewhere. As soon as they're born, they swim for like 3 days. Anyways, I felt all important today. Going and doing my nest check. And putting my little parking pass in the window that says, I'm a sea turtle volunteer. Thank you for liking the live. Thanks for the likes and the gifts and the shares and the follows. Appreciate you guys. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness, another knot. That's too many. I just finished the star blanket using the Caron Anniversary Cakes yarn, and I tagged you in it on my, yeah! Woohoo! I haven't done a star with the anniversary cakes yet. Oh, wait. Well, I can't wait to see that. Thank you so much for the tag. I appreciate it. I love seeing what everybody makes. I love being tagged. I know the yarn that I'm using is from those Caron Ogo Colorama, and they were like, they were like those donut shaped things, and some of them had like, each, so this gray would just like, there was just one section of gray in each one of them. And so this is probably 2 or 3 Ogos worth of gray. But sometimes some of the gray would be at the beginning of it and some of it would be at the end. So that's probably what happened there. It was one that had, a little, it's just like crocheting with like bits and pieces of stuff. But that's what happens when you do scraps. I mean, you can do, a lot of people tie the yarns together in a magic knot and they don't worry about weaving in all the ends, but I don't trust knots. So I go back and I weave them all in. It's just, I'm old school like that, and I have seen those magic knots. I don't want to upset anybody, but those magic knots come undone. And then when they do, how are you going to fix it? There's nothing left. There's nothing there. There's no extra. When you weave in the end, you weave in 5 or 6 extra inches of yarn that if something gets ripped or torn, then you got a little extra there to make the repair. So I don't know. I see why people do it because there have been a lot of knots, and the other one that I'm doing, I'm changing colors on every single row. And so that is, that's a bunch of ends just, because I'm changing colors on every round. And then on top of that, there's like the whole bits and pieces thing because I'm working with scraps. So that just creates additional ends. But yeah, Russian join is a good alternative. I I just, I'm just old school. I just weave them in. To me, it's just how I do it. I feel like it's the most secure. I feel like it's the most, you know, like quote unquote professional, whatever that means. Um, and I was talking about this the other day when I was live. My niece that was, I don't know if she's still on here, my sister and her daughter. But the original 6-day blanket, I made it back in like 2007. My great nephew, who it was for, was like just turned 16. So it's 16-year-old blanket, and it has been through, you know, then it was my great nephew's, and then my niece took it and she used it with all three of her daughters, and she said it's been, you know, barfed on and peed on and been through the washer and dryer like a million times, and it's still perfectly intact, which I found shocking. Not even the tassels had come off. Like the tassels are still intact. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's the original 6-day blanket. I'm gonna have it framed and hang it up on the wall. Um, and then my niece was like, "You need to make me another one just like it." So I went around digging around trying to find, because the yarn has been discontinued for years. Um, I'm tired of these yarn companies discontinuing their yarns. I'll just say that. But yeah, they discontinued it, and so I had to kind of dig around to find alternatives to make another one. But I have a bunch of yarn to do that with, so maybe I'll come on and do that on a live. See if I can recreate the OG 6-day blanket. I bet that one I could do in one day, honestly. It's so small. It's so small and it uses yarn like this thick. My hands are really sweaty. I think this is going to be the last round for me because I got to answer these phone calls. I would like to have maybe done one more round, but it's okay. Okay. So I don't know if I told you all this or not, but I don't join and chain up on the single crochet rounds like the pattern says. I just start single crocheting around. And then if you're going to do that and be a rebel like me, then make sure you mark your first single crochet so you know when you get back around to it where to join. Okay, let me find one of those little red heart ones, which is going to be to mark my day 3 progress. I really wanted to do a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe I'll work on it off camera while I am talking on the phone, since we're just on repeats now. And this isn't really a tutorial. I might just work on it off camera, but get a little bit more done on it. But there you go. And there's the ridge on this side. That looks cool. All right, my friends, thank you for hanging out with me tonight while I work on this. And hopefully I'll see you sometime tomorrow. Too big to lay all the way out now for you to see. Let's see, what's it measure? $17 and a half. So 35 inches across. All right. Thanks for hanging out. Good night.